So after months of speculation, royal aides have finally confirmed the news that Prince Harry is going to be in London to see his father Charles officially crowned king. But they also went on to say that Meghan is going to stay in California with Archofficial and Elizabeth. Oh yes, that's right. Meghan Markle is snubbing her own father-in-law, who's also a king. Charles invited her as an olive branch after all the harm she and Harry have caused, according to a source who referenced the duo's interviews as well as Harry's tell-all book Spare. And what did he get in return? A big slap in the face. Technically, Meghan does have a pretty good excuse to skip the important day because Archie turns 4 on May 6th. But this is certainly a calculated move on Meghan's part, according to the source. The source says she's telling friends she didn't want the coronation to turn into the Harry and Meghan show, but the truth is, she doesn't want to be where she's not wanted. And it's not like she's really going to be missed. It will be so much less drama without Meghan there, says an insider, noting that Catherine is going to feel especially relieved not to have to deal with her sister-in-law again, especially after the last time they had to get together after the late Queen passed away last September. Catherine admitted to a senior royal that such was the ill feeling between the two couples. The joint walkabout was one of the hardest things she'd ever had to do. This is coming from royal correspondent Robert Jobson, who wrote in his new book, Our King, about their little outing to look at tributes to the late monarch at Windsor Castle. Still, adds the source, Kate thinks it's rude for Meghan to do this to Charles. However, an outspoken insider has said that behind the decision to exclude Meghan was Prince William. He is determined to never have to see Meghan again after what she did to his brother, according to the insider. Harry is a spoiled brat, but still a member of the family. They need him. But Meghan doesn't and never will. Willie tore up Meghan's invitation and swore her presence at the coronation was a shame, according to royal insiders. And as a result, as we've noticed, only Harry is returning to the UK, where he is going to come face to face with the rest of his family. And he's probably going to have to answer some tough questions about whether he's trying to record stuff for a new Netflix show or not. The PR news coming out of the US is saying that Meghan's choice was partially based on her children. Not only is it Archofficial's birthday, but Charles excluded them by not giving them roles in the ceremony, notes the source. The source also noted that Meghan and Harry already had to fight to get the kids their due titles of Prince and Princess. It is worth noting, though, that Prince George is the only one of Prince William's children who will serve as a page, along with 3 of Queen Camilla's grandchildren. While Meghan goes out of her way to protect her children from the spotlight, it's the principle that counts. Being part of this event is their birthright. Ironically enough, though, apparently Charles did not want Archie and Lilibet to be there. The insider reports he misses them dearly and is desperate to see them, but Meghan apparently thinks it's not the right time, and apparently she is done playing nice. Meghan is happy with her life in Montecito away from the firm, notes the source. She refuses to be controlled by the royal family. In other news, for 3 years now, most members of the royal family have kept their silence about Megxit, until now. Prince Andrew's ex-wife Sarah Ferguson said in a candid April 4th interview, "I don't believe in judging anyone." But then she went on to throw some subtle shade at Harry and Meghan. Discussing stepping away from the royal family, Sarah Ferguson said, "You can't have it both ways. You can't sit on the fence and keep one foot in and one foot out. You're either in or out. But then don't cry about not being invited to weddings. You chose to leave, now go." In other news, reportedly yesterday, Meghan was turned down for a TED Talk. Well, of course, Meghan has just made herself look even worse, but also everyone is discussing that nobody even gets introduced to do a TED Talk. I mean, if you're a complete tool, maybe. Just imagine, you get to the point in your career where you've got the content, you've got the platform, and you've got the means to do a TED Talk. That's going to provide a major boost in one's career. That is something to be excited about. But why would you want to give up that power for Meghan to just take the spotlight and attention away from you by introducing you? Everybody knows that her being connected is all anybody's going to talk about. It is so condescending to have somebody else introduce you if you are a capable professional in your own right. So of course no one would do that. My personal theory is this: Meghan really just wanted to do the TED Talk herself, but the organizers realized that either her content was just stupid, or she was too controversial, or maybe she was using them for PR so close to the coronation. So they gave her the offer to introduce a friend instead, and of course she accepted because that was all she could get. and she knew that it would still get her name in the headlines, which is all she really cares about. I am kind of curious about what type of self care BS her TED Talk was going to be focused on. It amazes me that after all this time, Meghan and Harry still don't have any content themselves to stand on. They can only manage to introduce other people at best. You do have to pay to go on the show, and they said that Meghan didn't have anything to say that was actually interesting to other people. So, of course, they didn't invite her. So she just snuck in through the back so that she would be seen with her new plastic surgery face because nobody wants her. The only way for Meghan, which at this point is uncalled for, is to introduce somebody. She's just got a bunch of victim word salad with no real content. She has made me feel so disgusted by the Californian wine that so many of those women out there use. Meghan just loves to hear herself make noise, and it's all for show. There is nothing to back it up, including money. I cannot understand why they believe they have done anything worthwhile or important. If it weren't so ridiculous, it would be sad, but I think I'm just going to laugh. Feeling sad for them, though, would require people to actually care about either of them. I'm just waiting for somebody to help me understand how or why they are even remotely relevant to anything. Often, my brain has been working overtime, bearing how short a time Meghan was a working royal, at the amount of attention this nasty waste of skin has managed to attract, together with that balding idiot prince she attached herself to. When we reflect on their time as a couple, we've got to ask, what in the world have they really done? What have they achieved? What have they done that's actually helped anybody? The only answer I can keep coming up with is absolutely nothing. I'm afraid that making TV appearances or writing books trashing your family, and by the way, what they say is usually debunked as a lie, it's not exactly close to making a positive impact on the world. The fact is, they were paid by the royal family. They had such a generous yearly allowance. There was a clothing allowance that was paid by staff to do all their bidding. There were people to take care of their every need. Luxury accommodation, transport wherever they wanted to go. But it was never going to be enough for Meghan. I think the dinner comment especially demonstrated that Meghan had no idea how to act in polite society. She has no manners. She has no social graces. She probably just expected to be able to show up for a family dinner wearing ripped jeans and a t-shirt and no shoes. What did she expect when she joined the royal family? My goodness. I guess she expected to just be sitting there on the sofa eating their TV dinners. Everything that Meghan has done just emphasizes the fact that she's a piece of trash. She's a fraud. She spent her childhood on a TV set, and she came to believe that with enough film, enough makeup, and enough dialogue that was written by somebody else, she can just create any reality that she wants. She lives in a fantasy world, and I don't even know if she realizes that. I guess for Meghan, reality is whatever she needs it to be for the day. She's really sick in the head, and she is spending all of Harry's money to buy all the people and all the props and all the awards that she needs to convince herself that she's a lot better than what she really is. She's a yacht girl, she's a hustler, and she sells her wares to the highest bidder. She's a two-bit cable TV actress. I know that's a lot to say, a lot of insults, but thank you for allowing me just to get that off my chest.